Hey guys, Taylor Shear here, and on behalf of Keith, Jonica, and Kason, and the whole entire crew at Cross 85 Showgoats, I want to thank you for tuning in to this preview of their online weather and doe sale on April 19th on SC Online. If you have any further questions or would like to set an appointment to come see these animals in person, please reach out to Keith at 254-760-4277. Now let's get into it. We start the sale with probably one of the biggest ended wethers here. This guy exemplifies the statement that muscle is round. Nonetheless, I think this goat's greatest attribute is missed on both the pictures and videos, and it's the fact that this one handles with one of the biggest loins that this firm has produced to date. This guy spans with an extreme amount of width and depth to his loin, as well as still putting it together in a very trendy package. We kind of see this moderate framed wether to be the type that if you want to pour the coals to him, he'd be a great lightweight for State Fair. Or if you want to slow cook this one to say, we still think this guy would be extremely competitive in the spring majors. Lot 2 is probably the most exciting goat in the whole entire bunch. I think this guy's extremely athletic, not just in his design, but as well as in his muscle pattern. This guy's really long-sided, really tall from the ground to the point of his shoulder. He has a whole lot of length and extension up through his neck. I really love the way this guy's breastplate's pushed back into his body. And you couple that with the fact that when you get on top of him, this guy's really square. This guy is uniform and square from his blade back to his hip. He handles and touches extremely well. And I think when we get this guy fat here in about 30 days, this is going to be the type that's really going to push the envelope, especially in today's trend. This guy's really backed by an awesome pedigree. He's out of Smooth Operator, a buck that we bought here in the off-season. Smooth Operator is a soldier boy on top of a shrink doe. So the fact that this wether's still a little green, I have no worries, because with that genetic backing, you know the muscle pattern's going to be there. We see this guy to be an extremely good fit for Jess Yeaman here at State Fair, or we think this guy just about hits any judge throughout the year and leading into the spring majors. Lot 3 is the sleeper of the group. This goat was not the first one that we grabbed a picture, but once he was clipped up, he was the one that everybody wanted to prop up for the rest of the day. Study this guy's video for more than just a few seconds, and you'll see why everybody gravitates towards him. This really athletic, cocky-fronted wether is really attractive from the sides, extremely structurally correct on both ends of his skeleton, but doesn't lack any natural raw muscle shape. Yes, this guy's a little green and maybe doesn't hold as much fat cover as some of the other lots in the cell, but you'll be hard-pressed to find another one that has this much uniformity down his top and crispness through his stifle. We read this guy to be a really cool middleweight here in the spring. I think there's a lot of judges that are going to want to tie on to this one. Next is Lot 4. And he comes with some excitement as well, because this is the first offering of Freakin' the Sheets. Freakin' the Sheets is the buck that we raised last year out of Fuzzy Handcuffs from the Halfman firm. We're really excited to see what this one ends up doing, and there's no doubt this guy was stamped hard with his genetics. He has a next level muscle pattern, one that handles with an extreme amount of width and depth from his blade back through his hip. He drops down, and this guy is extremely long and dimensional through his outer flare and in his inner twist. And there's no doubt one of the greatest attributes he gets from his father is some big fuzzy feet. Now, there's no doubt this is not going to be the smallest wether in the sale. This easy fleshing, big frame, big muscled wether needs to be pushed, and he needs to be treated like an athlete. If you don't have the exercise program, I don't think he's going to be as successful without it. To all our hardworking families out there who still believe you don't have to buy the most expensive one in the sale to win, well, this one's for you. Now, there's no doubt, Lot 5 is not the most complete one in our bunch. But what he does have are the most important pieces. This guy handles with an extremely good loin that drops into a very powerful hip that's still buried big and bold through his outer stifle and his inner twist. Now, where could he excel a little more? We wish that he would handle just a bit square right there behind his shoulders. But some good work and some good feed, and you can fatten that right up, and that's going to square him up quite a bit. This is a big body type of wether that I think would be an awesome candidate for an early county show, or even taking the State Fair. Rounding out our wether lots is Lot 6. This moderate framed, big ribbed one is truly a barrel of 4 legs. He is the full brother to our Lot 1 goat. He offers a very similar muscle pattern, having a big forearm, huge loin, and a big outer flare and twist. We read this guy to be a moderate framed wether that shouldn't top out into the heavyweights. I think this guy is a great candidate for a first year family or a family just getting started. Reason is he'll be an easy fleshing wether that won't require a whole lot of extra bells and whistles. The other thing, he shows extremely well. He was the easiest one to picture on picture day because he just naturally props up, sets up, and drives. Next is Lot 7, and she starts off our 2 doe entries for the sale. I've had a lot of questions lately asking me, is this doe really as legit as she looks? The answer is yes. This doe is extremely good. This is a very attractive female that combines that with a whole lot of muscle. She handles with as big and as powerful as a top as any wether in the bunch and drops down with a huge hip and hind leg. This 24 karat doe kid has a pedigree that should serve her well. So if you're looking at trying to possibly win that scholarship in San Antonio, or you're trying to help your herd progress to the next level, she could do either or both. We conclude the sale with Lot 8, which is an extremely broody made paint doe. I think this one has an extreme amount of maternal quality, as she is a big-bodied, big-frame type of doe who's tall from the ground to the point of her shoulder, extremely feminine and extended to the front 1/4 of her body, while still offering a very deep side and a lot of maternal swoop. I think this one is going to be an excellent breeding piece for somebody looking to excel their herd. She'll bring design and functionality. She is extremely correct on both ends of her skeleton. Study her flushmate sister, Lot 7, as well as the flushmate sister we're keeping, and there's no doubt that she's going to throw enough muscle to work with any buck.